Hello, welcome again. So in this section, we will be discussing about Amazon Web Services, AWS. So before going to discuss about the Amazon Web Services, let's know about some basic terms. Okay, so do we know what is data and what is database and what is the scalability of database and what is data warehouse, what is a data lake, what is data mart, and what are the differences between those? Okay, so let's see what is data. We know that the data is a collection of a distinct unit of information. Okay, say for example, when we are talking over the phone, so we are creating data, right? So, or when we are sending text messages, we are creating data. So data can be number, data can be an image, okay, data can be a video. So all of these sources are data. So as we can see from here, so the data can be number, facts, so observations, measurement, graphs, information, okay, or different quantities. So this data is used in a variety of forms of text, numbers, media, and many more. So what is database? So where we store, we collect all of these data. This is called database. A database is an organized collection of structured information or data. They are normally stored electronically in a computer system. Okay, so this is an image of the database. So you can see that they're the CPUs or hard drive. So we are storing all the information, all the data, and they are in the structured form. Okay, this is called database. And what is the scalability of database? So database scalability is the ability of a database to handle changing demands by adding or removing resources. So we have a lot of workloads and they are analytical or transactional. So to make it easy, we may need to add or remove some resources from the database. Okay, so how quickly we can do that? That is called scalability of the data. So there are two types of scalability. The first one is vertical and the second one is horizontal scaling of the database. So the vertical means increase the capacity, add more RAM, add more storage. Okay, these are called vertical scaling. And for the horizontal scaling, adding more machines. Can you see that? So in this case we have only one machine, but here we are adding more machines. Okay, so or more storage. Okay, so this is called scalability, and they are two types, vertical, and the second one is the horizontal scaling. So what is a data lake? Okay, before going to discuss about the data warehouse, we need to know about the data lake. So in the data warehouse, we collect all the data in structured form, or we store all the data in structured form. But in the data lake, we have the data in raw format. Can you see that? So we have the data from different sources and we are collecting them as they are, meaning we are not transferring the format of the data. Okay, so that is why it is called the raw format. Can you see that? We are collecting all the data in unstructured way. So this is called data lake. And then from the data lake, we transform the data. Okay, we transform the data, we extract the data, transform the data, and then load in a data warehouse or in data mart. So we will discuss about data warehouse and data mart. Okay, so a data lake is a centralized repository that allows you to store all your structured and unstructured data at any scale. See that? So we are collecting in one place all the structured and unstructured data. Can you see that? So that is why we are calling this the data lake. And think about a lake where we have water from different sources, some water from rain, some water from drains. Okay, so we have natural water. So this is data lake, meaning the water is not structured. And think about a bottle of water. So the bottled water is structured, right? So we have the purified water. So that is the warehouse. Okay. So from the data lake, we transfer the data, and then we store them in a data warehouse or data mart. Okay. So the benefits of data lake are the democratize the data, get better quality data, and then supports all data formats. Yes, because you know that when we are collecting data in a data lake, we are not collecting only the structured data, we are also collecting the unstructured data. So that is why it supports all data formats and schema flexibility. So you can do, you can prepare different types of schema and advanced analytics and scalability. Okay, these are the benefits of the data lake. And what is data warehouse? So as we said earlier, that data warehouse is the place where we are extracting, transforming and loading data from different sources. Okay, so these are the different sources of data, and from these sources we are extracting, then transforming and loading data in one place, which is called data warehouse. And from the data warehouse we are doing all the online analysis. Okay, so that is why it is called data warehouse. So we have the data sources, then we extract, transform and load data to the data warehouse, and then we do the analysis online. So a data warehouse is a system that pulls together data from many different sources within an organization for reporting and analysis. So the reports created from complex queries within a data warehouse are used to make business decisions. So OLAP, you can see that it is online analytical processing, OLAP analysis. Okay. So what is data warehouse? You now know that data warehouse is a place where we store all the structured data, right? And what are the benefits of data warehouse? The top 10 benefits of data warehouse are it enables historical insights, meaning when you are storing data, so meaning you are storing the history, correct? You are collecting the history. You have lots of data for, say for example, if you collect data for the last 5 years financial information of a company, you are actually recording the history of the company, correct? So it enables historical insight, it enhances conformity and quality of data, it boosts the efficiency, increase the power and speed of data analytics, drives revenue in increasing levels. So if you can apply the data analysis in your organization, so it will definitely help you to increase the revenue and the high scalability, and interoperates with on-premise and cloud. So you can work on premise or on cloud. So boosts data security, higher query performance and insight, and it provides major competitive advantage. So if you have data warehouse of your organization, so you can see where you are making the mistakes and where you are doing better than your competitors. Okay, so it helps you a lot. So the difference between the data warehouse and data lake. So far we know that data lake is a place where we store, we collect all the different types of data, whether it is structured or unstructured. But in data warehouse, we store or we collect only the structured data. Okay, so the data warehouse and data lake, you can see that in the data lake we can see that they are not structured. Okay, they are having the zigzag. Okay, but in the data warehouse we have the structured data. See that they are structured. Okay, and another example of the difference, say from these two things here, this is the data lake actually, and this is the data warehouse. So we can see that in the data lake, the data are not structured. See, we have different pieces of data, and they are not structured. But here, they are structured. You can see that. So they are structured, and let's see more differences between data warehouse and data lake. So the data type, so relational data structure in case of data warehouse, and the data lake, polymorphic data structures. Okay, and the primary users of data warehouse are the data analyst, and for the data lake, the data scientist. So they are different. And primary designer, data warehouse architect, and the data engineer. Then storage strategy, schema design, indexing, metadata, meaning they are structured. Okay, and in node cluster management, metadata, and data catalogs. And programming, you can use the SQL, TSQL, PL, SQL. And for the data lake, you should use more advanced, programming language, for example, Java, Python. And analytics type, so the descriptive, diagnostic, and some predictive analytics. And in this case, you can do the augmented analysis as well. And project type, so querying data sets, ETL jobs, statistical analysis, and reporting. And in case of data lake, you have different projects, for example, machine learning, graph modeling, pattern discovery, and robotic process automation. So these are the differences between the data warehouse and data lake. And this is another example. You can see the same thing actually. Here we have the structured, and here we don't have the structured. And what is data mart? It's another interesting thing. So data mart actually, say for example, you have a database. So you have a big database in which you have data for accounting division, so for finance division, for HR division. So all of this data is called together it's called they are called the data warehouse. But from these data warehouse, you can pick data for the HR division, or you can work in the finance division, meaning these are the data mart actually. So this is the big thing is the data warehouse, but this one is the data mart, this one is another data mart. So a data mart is focused on a single functional area of an organization and contains a subset of data stored in a data warehouse, correct? So a data mart is a condensed version of the data warehouse. See that? So we have the data in the data warehouse, but we can just pull up some data for specific purposes. Say, for example, marketing, sales, HR, or finance. Okay, it is often controlled by a single department in an organization. Okay, so we can see that this is a data warehouse, and these are the different data mart. Okay, so they are just pulling data from the data warehouse and doing their jobs. So the relation between data warehouse and data mart, you can see that this is the data warehouse, and here are the different data marts, meaning different small departments. They are just extracting data from the data warehouse, and they are working or they are doing some analysis. And this is another example. So data warehouse, we can see, and here we have the data for all departments, and the specific departments, say program management, then project data, or executive manager. They are extracting their data, what they need, okay, or human resources, okay, or budget, right? So these are the data mart, okay, and this is the data warehouse. So we can see the relation between data warehouse, lake, and mart. So the data lake, it is high unstructured data, and then we move to the data warehouse, and from data warehouse we move to the data mart. They have a relation.